I think he did chain himself.
I mean,
Grand Forks says we think theirs is down because of COVID.
I'm not feeling that way, but the issue isn't so much, I can't tell the stats because, we were 3,000 hours behind. So then they're piling that stuff on and going through it. So it feels so much busier. But I don't feel like ours is slowed up.
There aren't any jury trials, correct?
No, they're gonna make another decision on that they suspended those until February 1st. And then they're gonna go through that.
You know what? Can you borrow one of yours? Yeah, I think they're on your
Thank you. It's now 5 o'clock. We're calling the January 5th organizational meeting to order.
Can I ask, are the microphones on? It's really soft. It's hard to hear.
Okay, I'll start over. It is now 5 o'clock or a little thereafter. Megan, if you could please call roll on the organizational meeting of the City Council.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council members Clarence Vetter,
Present.
Dale Helms,
Here.
Tim Riopel,
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Olsted.
Here.
Mark Demers,
Present.
Ryan Larson.
Here.
Next item on the agenda would be the administration of the oaths for elected officials. I do have Mr. Larson here. Clarence, due to the fact that I can't notarize yours remotely right now, we'll have to do it the next time you're here live, okay? Thank you. So if I could have Mr. Larson please stand.
We have, Larson, Gander, Olsted, Riopel.
I have one.
They all have theirs.
Okay. I'll do it at...
Oh, yeah, I have mine
Larson.
right here, Ron, if you need
Okay,
it.
nope, I got it. My apologies. If I could have all you that are going to be administered the oath stand. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Steve Gander,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and faithfully perform and discharge
and faithfully perform and discharge
the duties as council member, mayor
the duties as mayor
member.
of the city of East Grand Forks,
of the City of East Grand Forks,
county of Polk,
County of Polk,
state of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment, ability, so help me God.
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
And if you could all sign your oaths, I will notarize them. Thank you. The next matter of business will be the election of council president and vice president by written ballot.
You should each have 2 little pieces of paper. I'm trying to do this with ballots.
Wait, and I don't get to vote?
How do we do this?
What we'll do is we will have nominations first, and then if it's going to be an unanimous nomination, we would still end up doing by written ballot according to the charter. Mr. Old?
Mark Olsted for president.
Nomination by Mr. Johnson for Mr. Olsted as the president. Do I have any other nominations? Do I? Oh,
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Helms?
I'll nominate Clarence Vetter.
We have a nomination for Clarence Vetter. Do we have any other nominations? The nominations will be closed at this time. Please write your selection on the ballot and then pass it my way, please. Thank you. I have one for Mr. Olsted, one for Mr. Vetter, two for Mr. Olsted, three for Mr. Olsted, four for Mr. Olsted, five for Mr. Olsted, six for Mr. Olsted. So it's 6-1. The nomination for the election of the council president is for Mr. Mark Olsted, or should be 2. Okay? So I will now pass the meeting over to Mr. Olsted.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Council, now take nominations for the Vice Presidency of the City Council. I'll nominate Mr. Tim Riopel.
I'll nominate Mark Demers.
Okay, any other nominations? Motion to close the nominations. By Johnson. Is there a second to close the nominations?
Second.
Second by Mr. Riopel. If everybody wants to write down on their ballots, and do you want them to pass them to me, or do you want them to Mr. Golstead? Me? To me, then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. We have one from Mr. Demers, two from Mr. Demers, one from Mr. Riopel, two from Mr. Riopel, three for Mr. Demers, and then three for Mr. Riopel. You know, I haven't voted yet. My vote was Mr. Riopel. So we have 4-3. Mr. Riopel will be Vice President.
Congratulations.
Entertain a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
Move to
Moved by
adjourn.
Johnson, second by Mr. Riopel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, meeting is adjourned. Move into the City Council meeting of the City of East Grand Forks for January 5th, 2021 is now 5:08. Would City Clerk please call roll?
Mayor Seabander?
Here.
Councilmembers Clarence Satter? Here. Dale Helms?
Here.
Tim Riopel?
Here.
Tim Johnson?
Here.
Mark Olsted?
Here.
Mark Demers?
Present.
Ryan Larson?
Here.
Does term quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
An open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council. Items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address the City Council, please come up to the podium to do so right now, or if you're on Zoom. I do not see anybody. Move on to annual business. Consider adopting resolution number 21-01-01, setting the time and hour of the regular City Council meetings and work sessions. It should be in the packet. It's 5 o'clock, and
Pardon?
you could have a motion?
No, I was just going to ask a question if everybody was happy with where it was at. I mean, if everybody's okay with that.
Yep.
If they are, I'll make the motion, it stays the same.
Mr. Helms makes the motion. Mr. Riopel seconds. Any other questions or discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 2, consider adopting resolution number 21-01-02, designating the Exponent as official newspaper. Moved by Riopel.
Second.
Second by Johnson. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Consider adopting resolution number 21-01-03, designating the following financial depositories: American Federal Friends and Bank and Trusts, RBC Wealth Management, PMA-4M Fund.
Move.
Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 4, consider adopting Resolution 21-01-04, authorizing the persons listed below, subject to express restrictions, is authorized for ACH origination and for online banking.
Move.
Moved by Johnson, second by Riepel.
Yep.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Approval of minutes for the December 15th council meeting and December 21st special meeting.
Move.
Moved by Riepel,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, none. Scheduled public hearings, there is none. Consent agenda, items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action as they choose. Any members want 7 through 10 pulled? If not, I'll entertain a motion of the consent agenda, please.
Move 7 through 10.
Moved by Riepel,
Second.
second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Acknowledge a receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. Regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for December 2nd, 2020. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. New business, consider approving the purchase of a Ford Police Interceptor SUV from Tavordi Ford for a total of $32,649.24.
Move.
Moved by Riepel,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 13, consider approving the purchase and installation of equipment on the new Interceptor from Guardian Fleet Safety for a total of $14,131.40.
Move.
Moved by Holmes.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 14, consider approving a special event application allowing the closure of 3rd Street Northwest on January 9th for a peaceful protest of Executive Order 20-99. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Moved by Riepel.
I'll second.
Second by Johnson. Questions or discussion? Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I don't think there's probably anybody here that's opposed to having a protest or this type of special event. I would like to clarify the boundaries of where this would be. I know the application says from Demers through potentially the railroad tracks. I think that's a bit broad. I wouldn't support something that big. I would say if they wanted to go from Demers to, what is it, 5th or, I guess 3rd Street, or 3rd, what is that, 3rd Avenue Northwest. The only thing too is I don't know what the times of it are. You know, the post office is open from 9:30 to 11 that day, so I don't know if it's going to be after that. I guess, and then as a side, I guess I wouldn't have any objection to going on 3rd Street Northwest from Demers to the northwest either. You know, I mean, if they wanted to have it on both sides of Demers, I mean, we have a giant parking lot back there. I mean, it's big areas. I just think open it endlessly or without really bound to the southeast into a residential area, into Sacred Heart area, that they're going to be using that facility that day as well. I guess that would just be my thoughts. Thank you.
Just for a little bit of information, the protest, the time frame that he had put on the application was from noon to 8 p.m., so it'd be after post office hours. Everyone in that neighborhood was supposed to be notified. And when I spoke to him today, at this time, there's approximately 15 to 20 is the number that he has at this time that they are expecting to show up. So they may fit within that block. So just, for information.
And just legally, I think we could, since the post office is closed, it doesn't put a problem, but I think we could legally restrict it to the business area so that the parking lot, that type of thing.
Ron, can you turn your mic on?
Sorry about that, Clarence. Basically what I said, and I apologize for that, is that since the post office is closed, I believe we would be able to restrict the protest on that block would be fine. However, if there's a concern, we could restrict the protest to the business district so that it doesn't extend beyond that in front of private residences. Case law has provided that that would be a reasonable time, place, and manner restriction. So if that's a concern, we could do that.
So if we did that, that'd be the block north or south of Demers only, the one block, right? Because it'd be residents on the others.
And to be honest with you, I didn't double check the area that's being requested, but there should be more than enough room down there if we're to be able to use the business district. Whether we extend it north and south and east and west, I believe we could do that. And then they would all
around the corner.
Yep, and then they would all be in visual sight of the area where the protest has been scheduled.
Mr. Demers.
And then just one follow-up is, how do you allow for access for Cabela's parking along that street as well? I would imagine they would want access to their parking lot.
That was I brought up to him personally. That was my question to him, if they were going to be able to access it on the south end of that parking lot. I'm assuming the north side of that would be blocked off. I guess I don't know if there's been a discussion or with Cabela's, which is I'm assuming there has been, but.
We could certainly make it contingent on making sure that Cabela's has access and egress from their parking lot there.
Yeah. So right now we have in front of us a motion to approve the way it was submitted, and we'd go back to the original motion if someone wants to amend it to include only business district. We'd have to do that, or vote on it and bring it back if you want to. Who made the original motion again? I don't remember.
I'll amend it to include the business district only.
Do you want to go north of Demers?
Right.
So you'd be on both sides of Demers? Or just north and,
I kind of like the idea of going around the corner to the post office, and they're all right there, but. Go there.
By that, rate them with some flexibility.
Ron, if you're talking again, your mic is off.
Okay, I'll just leave it on. I'm shuffling here. But what I was saying is I think we should make sure that we have some flexibility and the ability to utilize north of Demers as well. So in fact, if there was enough for overflow so that we would have room for them to have their protest. So we would be reasonable in accommodating them in that fashion.
you want to amend it to that?
I'll amend it to that go around the corner, or they can go north across Demers.
Whoever seconded, I don't remember, is that you? Are you okay with that?
Why can't they use the parking lot? You know, right, you know, the
Parking lot.
VFW,
They're on the other side of the,
correct. But I mean, if that's going to be, if it's going to be
I think he
too
wants
many
it close.
people or
I think they
whatnot.
want it close to their business.
Okay.
Spud Junior.
That's fine, I'll second it.
Okay.
Does this specifically, this exempts Demers though, right? Because we don't have the authority
Right.
to.
Correct.
Correct.
Yep. Anybody else have anything? Now we'll take roll call.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 15, consider adopting resolution 21-01-09, approving the hiring of Ben Solom as a truck driver at salary of $18.85 per
I'll
hour.
move.
Moved by Johnson,
Second.
second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? See none, roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 16, consider approving the labor agreement between the City of East Grand Forks and International Association of Firefighters, local number 3423, for the 2021 through 2023.
Move.
Moved by Demers,
Second.
second by Rehappel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Demers.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank the IAFF for the work that they put in negotiations. It was, sometimes it's difficult in these type of things, but at the end of the day, I think we came up with an agreement or a potential agreement that works for everybody. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Nuts? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 17, and consider approving the labor agreement between the City of East Grand Forks and the ASME Council 65 for the 2021-2023.
Move.
Moved by Demers,
Second.
second by Rehappel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Demers.
Thank you. I just wanted to, again, extend a thank you to those that negotiated for ASME and its membership. And again, I think we at times struggle, but always working towards a great negotiated agreement between the two groups. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 18, consider adopting resolution number 21-01-10, approving the request to apply for funds for the Mighty Duck Grant for the R22 refrigerant conversion at the Civic Center.
Move.
Moved by Rehappel,
Second.
second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Consider adopting resolution 21-01-11, approving the hiring of Lance, butcher's last name, if someone wants.
Callanan.
Callanan. Apologize. As a police officer at salary $28.75 per hour.
Move.
Moved by Johnson,
Second.
second by Rehappel. Questions or discussion? Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Mr. President. This question is for the chief. Just wondering, I've wondered this a couple times when we do this. Does this have any effect on the probationary period when we add people to any steps?
Not at all, nope.
Okay.
The probationary period for our new hires is 12 months regardless of what step they start at.
Appreciate it. That's what I figured, but thank you for clarifying.
No problem.
Anybody else have anything? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. We have claims. Consider authorizing city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Johnson,
Second.
second by Rehappel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Rehappel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Have a motion to suspend rules to approve the agreement between East Grand Forks City and LELS.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Rehappel. Mr. Murphy,
Yes, I apologize that I did not have this ready in time for going into the packets. We were finishing up some language between the union and the city, making sure that the language was agreeable and clear to both parties as to what was agreed upon in the negotiations. I believe we have finished that, and I believe it's acceptable to both sides. And reviewing it for both sides, it has not altered any of the agreements or the principles that were agreed to in the overall contract. It just was wordsmithing it to make sure that it was understandable and clear to both parties and to try to avoid any misinterpretation. So I believe we are successful in that, so I would recommend that this be approved.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Move. Second.
Mr. Riepel, second by Mr. Demers. Any other questions, Mr. Demers?
Thank you one last time for tonight. I'd like to thank the negotiation team from LELS and its membership for negotiating with us in a great manner. It was tough at times, obviously, and one of the things that each of these negotiation groups does is it really keeps us on our toes to make sure that we're thinking about things from our employees' perspective. And like I said, it's I think we came to a good negotiation. The team worked well together, and thank you again.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything? If not, roll call, please.
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just a few things. First of all, by every indication, it looks like Governor Walz is going to announce that he will not extend the shutdown on restaurants and other establishments, meaning that this Monday they will be able to open. We don't know to what limitation they will be subjected, whether it's 25 or 50 or what other kinds of limitations he might bring in. But it's very good news. All of the early press releases coming out of the governor's office are indicating that tomorrow at 2 o'clock he will make that announcement. And so it's good. Folks will get back to work. And I think we're going to turn the corner here heading into spring, and it's going to be looking a lot better. We do have a couple of restaurants still in limbo. One of them is Joe's Diner, and it sounds like Joe has been in a constant negotiation back and forth with the Attorney General, Minnesota Department of Health, and maybe on the way to a resolution that is mutually agreeable and peaceful. That would be a good thing. Still, we have the boardwalk that is actually moving further into litigation at this time. And it would be awfully nice if that also could be resolved peacefully in a mutually agreeable way. I know it's been attempted probably by both sides at different times, and then at a point it starts to go down the road of litigation. It's a little hard to pull back from that. I would like to see if there is a way to bring them back to the table. So maybe a little help from the governor's office, maybe a little help from the Department of Health, Minnesota Department of Health, and maybe a little help from the Minnesota Attorney General's office. I can tell you that Jane Moss of the Boardwalk would be receptive to coming back to the table for an agreement like this. I can tell you that her attorney would be receptive to coming to the table for an agreement like this. And if there's any way that we or I can be instrumental in just bringing that group together, it may need a little help from Mr. Gallstead, our city attorney, to bring them to the table. Ron has good contacts with the Attorney General's office, and perhaps that would be the extent of our involvement, would be to reach out to the parties and say, we still have an opportunity for a negotiated settlement that everybody can live with without having to finish off this litigation. We can end that. Now, I'm not proposing that anyone in the city, myself included, get in the middle of that negotiation. That would be inappropriate. But I am proposing that perhaps we could be instrumental in just bringing the group together. Get that started and then step back and see where it ends up. It would be awfully nice if it could be resolved and that business could go forward in good standing with the state, whatever that means, by whatever terms that they could agree to. And so I share that publicly. I've spoken with individuals about this in hopes of all of us being on board, that just simply bringing them together to have that conversation. If there is a way for a peaceful negotiated settlement, that's what I would like to see. Number two, I do want to go back to one of our hires, Ben Solom. Where is, oh, we lost him. There's Ben. Ben, are you still on?
Yep.
Yeah. Robin's your dad, right?
Correct.
I want to make sure I have this. I love it when generations come back. What a commitment to the city. And it's happened, you know, we also had Odin Olson and his son Randy way back in the day. And of course, police and fire with the high checks. So I just want to say welcome aboard, and the pride that you show, the civic pride that you show to follow in Dad's footsteps, making our city a better place. I really think it's cool. So good job, man.
Thank you.
And third and finally, to the labor agreements. Back a dozen years ago when I was on the council, we did one-year deals about 9 months into the deal. And then the end would pass, the end of the negotiation, and we'd start a negotiation for the next year because it hadn't ended on time and it hadn't started on time. We were in perpetual labor negotiations. And back then, I would say and hope for, let's do multi-year deals before the contract period begins. Let's do multi-year, so we can at least have a period. Because these are not fun. They can be a little bit contentious. They can be a little bit challenging. They're not the most enjoyable thing that anybody does in terms of serving this city. So why not do multi-year deals, and why not get them done before the period begins so you can get back to having fun and doing the work that we do. So I really want to commend everybody involved on all sides of this. Multi-year deal before the contract period begins is really good stuff. Again, the goodwill of our people is so much better when they have a long period of, you know what, I know the terms and conditions, we're not in a constant negotiation. I appreciate it. Good job. Thanks.
Thanks, Mayor. Mr. Vetter.
I don't have anything this week, thank you.
Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope that the little peaceful protest that they're doing downtown, I hope it does some good and it turns out. Mr. Mayor, I hope your news is great news. I hope that our governor does what he says he's going to do. I'm going to make the statement that I think that we need to get prepared and be ready to show him what rocks and cows can do if he does not. Because we need to start fighting back if he does not follow through this time. There's no way that people can survive anymore. They just can't do it. So I think that we'll wait until see what happens tomorrow. And if things don't go very well, then I would like to see the council and everybody get behind the rocks and cows, and let's start doing something about it instead of sitting back and waiting to see what happens. So, and with that, I'd like to congratulate the President and Vice President and welcome the new member, Mr. Larson.
Thank you.
It's great, and so hopefully the year will be better. That's it. Thank you.
I too would like to welcome Mr. Larson to our board. I've worked with him before on the park board, and he's done good things with that board, so hopefully it continues here. The mayor did allude to the litigation that's going on with one of our restaurants. I would hope that she'd quit backstabbing the mayor and this council, saying that we're not doing nothing for her, when we are actually doing a lot for the businesses in this community, and that needs to be said. And maybe she can tone it down because she's doing no good for her cause. Thank you.
Johnson.
I wanted to thank the Water and Light Department. I don't think anybody said how nice the Christmas lights look this year. So I appreciate the hard work that the Water and Light Department did on that park and rec, and I'm so glad the Santa Claus has left City Hall. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd again like to welcome Mr. Larson. Look forward to working with you and leadership. Congratulations. I do have a question. I was doing some research on a different issue and on special assessments, and I was noticing some of the rates that we're paying right now are north of 6%, and just wondering if staff would kind of do some analysis on that to see how much of our special assessment debt specifically is at a rate similar to that, and then if there's opportunity to refinance that debt, basically, rebond or whatever. If I don't know what our term is on our bonds, but if we could knock a couple % off, I would. And then my proposal would be that we just pass that savings on to those people with special assessments. But like I said, I would just ask staff to kind of look into that and see what possibilities we have. And I guess they should, at this point in time, we all know what the rates are right now. We should do an analysis of all of our debt and just kind of see if there's any opportunity to reduce those rates. And with that, thank you.
Also, I want to welcome Mr. Larson. Look forward to working with you. See what the new face brings, and new opinions, I guess, or thoughts, and hopefully we'll be able to move forward with some great things here. So appreciate it coming on. If you have a couple words, go ahead, sir.
Sure. Well, I just want to thank everyone for all the kind words and the welcome. Really looking forward to working on this council and doing what I can for East Grand Forks, like everyone else in this room does. I'd also like to add my voice to the mayor's support to find us a settlement with the issue with the boardwalk. Litigation isn't good for anyone but lawyers. Sorry, Ron. But you know what I mean. We can't go in the past, and we can't change what's been done. They chose to open up. But what's current and future is these are East Grand Forks businesses, and we're going to support them all the way through this, just like we would each other. So I know we can work together to help them out going forward.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I echo the mayor's sentiments there. I think we need to do what we can do to help every business out. I think getting them back to the table in discussions, I think, will help them tremendously. Showing some good faith that, they want to do what's right, but they want to be able to open up and shorten up the time they're closed. So hopefully we can get them together. Anything, Mr. Gallstead?
I was just going to say, Mr. Larson, if you have any questions or you want to have any discussions about anything, just give me a call. We can do that.
Remember, it's on the clock.
I just, and certainly, and the other thing that I wanted just to echo, Mr. Helms was involved as well today with the $260,000 that was granted or provided to the EDA for COVID relief. The EDA had a meeting. I know I don't see, oh, there's Mr. Gordy. So I won't rain on his thunder, but it was very productive, and we're moving forward with that, and I'll leave that for Mr. Gordy. I know Mr. Johnson thanked Water and Light. I wanted to throw a shout out to Jason Stordahl in the Public Works Department. They're doing a heck of a job on mosquito control, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
Mr. Murphy, do you have anything?
I just have one thing. I just wanted to do. The resolution passed back a little more than a month ago, back in December, for the quiet zone for the closure of 3rd Street. I did receive communication back yesterday from MnDOT. They wanted to change some of the wording in the whereases, not the resolution part of it. That has remained the same, but they wanted to wordsmith two of the whereases leading up to that. Again, it doesn't change any of that, so I was hoping that I could get I will be down right after the meeting. I'm hoping to get the mayor and council president to sign that, and we'll get that revision off to them. And otherwise, they said this project is moving forward.
Mr. Emery.
Just like to echo, I guess, what everyone else is welcoming Mr. Larson to the council. Look forward to working with you. And again, congratulations to Mr. Olsted and Mr. Riepel. So look forward to 2021. And that's all I have unless anyone has any questions.
You have a question for Mr. Demers?
I noticed you didn't congratulate the mayor.
Anything from the department heads?
Yes, sir, Mr. Olsted.
Of Mr. Gordy go first, and then Chief Hedlund after that.
Welcome to our new councilman, and thank you for reappointing Mr. Grindy and for appointing Mr. Horkin to the EDA board. Today, the EDA met. They worked on basically 4 different areas. In one part, they approved 4 loans under the EDA's program that was approved in mid-December. So there are 4 loans that will have access to low interest, deferred interest, and deferred payment to help them get through these rough times. There was a spirited discussion, in particular on the $260,000 that will go to the loan committee. The loan committee is meeting at 4 o'clock on Thursday, so the EDA can meet again next Tuesday and move forward on that program expeditiously. There was discussion on the county program under the legislation that was passed by the state of Minnesota. There were dollars provided to the counties. Polk County got approximately $622,000. They have reserved $200,000 for the benefit of businesses located within the city of East Grand Forks. The EDA will be working on that to determine how we can best use that money, and particularly in concert with the other programs, to maximize the positive impact of those dollars upon the community. I am working with the representatives from Crookston and Foston and with the county executive on the distributions of the dollars throughout the county and in particular within East Grand Forks. And then we also approved a loan for Leisureland, which had done some improvements on their property, which is a regular loan. It's not a COVID loan, which was a very pleasant thing to do today. That is what I have for you tonight, sir.
Chief Hedlund.
Just wanted to give an update. Most of you probably already aware, but Tony Hart, one of our detective sergeants, has had some ill health of recent times. He is currently down at Rochester Mayo Hospital, where he's been for a few weeks now. Tony has had open heart surgery, and he is currently awaiting a transplant. We're hoping to get him on a transplant. He still has a few steps to go in his process down there, and as they're trying to get him a little bit stronger and a little weaned off some of the medications he's currently on. And once they do that, they're hoping to get him on a transplant list, and with any luck, he can get a heart transplant in the near future, knock on wood. Obviously, a very long road to hoe for him and his family, so if you could please keep them in your thoughts and prayers, we'd certainly appreciate that. It's a very important person in our department, and we miss him greatly, and we're wishing them nothing but the best. If anybody would like to help out, obviously with this, there's going to be some significant expenses. If anybody would like to help out, we have started an internal fundraiser. Feel free to contact anybody here at the department and they get you that information.
Thank you, sir. Anything else from the department heads? Chief Bushy.
Yes, on behalf of the fire department, I'd like to welcome Mr. Larson to the council, and I'd also like to congratulate Mayor Gander, Councilman Councilman Riopel. Also, I'd like to thank the personnel committee for working with my firefighters. It's really nice to be able to work with happy employees. So, good work. Thank you. That's all I have.
Anything else from the department heads? I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Johnson, second by Mr. Larson. Is that what you said?
Sure.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.